let's try.
Why are you smacking? Oh, for God's sake!
Sorry. Anyway, I apologise for that.
Jesus
Got it again.
Stop smacking yourself!
Anyway, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and children of all ages, and welcome to GRL Season 3 of GP2. This is round 19 here in the Mexican Grand Prix, as we have 12 drivers in this division for qualifying. There are only going to be 2 people that's going to be knocked out, and that was a little bit of unnecessary.
Sorry, I have to go out.
But anyway, this is Phil, and I'm alongside with Owen for tonight.
Yep, we're back.
If there also is going to be some people that have missed GP3, feel free to watch it back at your own time. Where
there is a lot of entertainment.
Controversy here and there, but not as much.
No. But the show must go on. As we see Dutch Nacho coming up to the last corner.
Dutch Nacho is going to be starting on his first flying lap of Q2 after a very successful race, or very successful session at last week in USA. Yes, on his first podium in GP2 this season. So he's hoping to carry on with the performance that he has for Mexico. We also do have a returning face of Paraquix because he wasn't available at USA.
And
I think we'll also say that wherever Para will finish, he will be crowned the Drivers' Championship if I gets the previous points before USA.
Yep. As you will do that, I'm going to inform everyone that there is a new driver from GP3 moved up to GP2. Well, it's only for tonight, so we can get him and see how his pace is.
And that's see what he's like.
And that is Fright Night, who had a...
Right then. Before USA, Paraquix was on 280 points with Top Gunner on 165. Which, if you might say, was a 115 point gap.
Speaking
as
of
the top 4 has set their times, with Paraquix doing a 115.6 on these supers. While Top Gunner actually goes a tenth faster with a 115.5, but that's only on the hypers.
Yes, that is a quite big gap.
But anyway, for Para, he only needs to get into the top 5.
I think
he only needs to get into the top 5 or wherever.
He just needs to finish
and
in points.
He has won. Then he has won the Drivers' Championship. However, the Constructors has been slowly closing the gap a little bit after Chill and Top Gunner getting a 4-5 position, a 4-5 place in USA, so they're hoping to try and continue with the performance that he had last week for this week, as they're trying to close the gap of the Scuderia Ferrari team in the Constructors. However, the battle for the best of the rest is still underway, with Renault and Force India being very close by next to them. This is before USA, with Renault Sport F1 being on 249 at that point, with Force India on 230 at that point as well. But we are hoping for the points to be updated soon, So we'll be finding out on the confirmation of who will be getting the not only the Drivers' Championship, but also the Constructors' Championship.
Just got a bit of a weather update from the people up top. Thank you again.
Yep.
And they're saying it's going to be a dry quali, but it's going to be a dry race with a little hint of rain at the end.
So again, it's going to be it's going to have I think this is almost the third time we're going to have a wet spell in the race.
Yeah, while in GP 1.1 it was rain all the way.
It was rain and then it got dry in the last 4 laps.
While in GP3 it was raining a bit, but it was dry enough for slicks. Even though some drivers in that race were losing a lot of grip and
There we
sliding
go, as we can
out.
see, superb cam. Going down the straight onto turn 1. Doing 250 miles an hour onto the first heavy braking zone.
Possibly this track is a bit heavy on tyre wear, so some drivers got to be careful with their tyres.
It is true.
And it's also a track that we can...
also, for a bit of a slight little hint as well, we're also going to be answering some of your questions. Just feel free to message Owen's gamertag and we'll answer them as best as we can.
Got
So
this
superb cam now approaches onto the S's. Misses the apex a little bit on the next one, but it gets it neat and tidy on the exit.
It's just coming up to a very hard right-hand corner, which goes into a mini
Now
S.
approaches onto the stadium, and then it's an instant right. Now opens the taps on the Mercedes-powered engine, crosses the line, and goes fastest by 9/10 of a 1:14.6.
Top gonna make it.
Now, if that wasn't a good benchmark time on the supers, or a very good Q2 time, I don't know what was.
That was on ultras.
What is? Yeah, on ultras. Yeah, no.
You said supers. God damn it, Phil.
I know.
It's 2 days. It's the second day. It's 2 days in a row. You've done this now.
Yeah, I know. Never mind. Anyway, Dutch Nacho is now on his outlap as well, and he's now switched on to the Ultra Softs as well. As a Super Cam is now on his cooldown lap of, well, his second lap, which is basically his cooldown. Basically buys the driver that has currently finished their flying lap to just cool down the tyres and go to the pits and wait for the next one to go again. Meanwhile, Paraquix is out as well on another set of ultras. No, he's on one set of ultras because he did set his first lap on 1:15.6 on the supers. Meanwhile, Chalky is going to be going out on his outlap once again on the hypers. As we now go on to Dutch Nacho. He's going to be opening the taps of the Renault engine, and that's McLaren to start his second flying lap on the Ultra Softs. We now go on his telemetry board and see the maximum speed on the speed trap as Horn retires from the session. So that means only one other person will be knocked out of Q2.
As Phil's got his telemetry kilometers, well, things on miles per hour, I've got mine on kilometers per hour. Goddamn words.
I think in the stream's point of view it's miles per hour, but when it's on others it's kilometres. Oh well.
Yeah, so I can do kilometers.
Yeah, you can do kilometres an hour, that's good.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
I think it's like about, what, 340 odd kilometres an hour?
345 kilometers per hour on the main street. as Nacho goes a little bit wide into that
Takes a
corner.
very wide line
Yeah,
on the second to last S section.
I'm not surprised if he
And
got a
it
lap
looks like he
invalidation
has-
from that.
He has backed off.
Yeah, I think he got a lap invalidation.
So we
Wouldn't
now
be
jump
surprised.
onto Para. And by the looks of it, he's going for a low downforce, because you can see the interchange, or the transition of his Ferrari, is quite shaky, and he's backed off as well.
Yeah, I think he might be losing a little bit of grip at the rear. That is tail to get
As
past.
we now go back onto Dutch. So the first heavy braking zone once again, onto turns 1, 2 and 3. 3 corners in a row at 90-degree angles, then onto the straight, and then another 2 corners at 90-degree angles as well.
Now this track is quite easy to invalidate your lap on. And get time penalties on.
Completely misses the first apex, but does get the last apex.
As coach,
His MG Kosher is retired. He's done very well though. Getting him to safety in P4. Ahead of Chill by only by 4/10 between the Renault, McLaren and Williams driver.
You were about to say Renault then, was you?
I was, but at least I corrected myself.
Yeah, good job. As we see Smithy going down the main straight doing 335 kilometers per hour, which is
Dutch
probably...
would have done a 1:16.0, which could have got him into 6th, but was invalid. So he needs to get this next run done and dusted. Meanwhile, Paraquix is now onto the stadium section. A very neat and tidy hairpin, and then a very good controlled, sharp, instant right. But has backed off again. This time at the start of on the start line, or on the start-finish line. So we go back onto Dutch at the moment. Super Cam is now retired from the session, so he's guaranteed safety, especially with that lap. Meanwhile, Chalky has crossed the line in P2 in Q2 with a 1:15.2, and that is in 2 laps of Hypersofts.
As Smithy moves up to 4th with a 1:15.6. Only 2/200ths quicker than Power.
As Chalky is now retired from the session.
Meanwhile,
Discreetly is going to be starting on his first and on his second and final, what will possibly be his final lap.
He's not making any
Q2.
mistakes.
As Dutch has now gone into the pits, and it does look like that he is going to be knocked out. And Discreetly gets a little bit sideways on the approach to turn 1. Good car control, but that lap time that he was trying to post is now gone. It's just completely scrapped.
Yep, he's gone across the map. Don't know why I found that funny.
Meanwhile, Top Gooner has retired from the session in the pits, and he's going to be through from qualifying to P3, so on to Q3.
So Manzi is actually quite lucky that both Horn and Dutch can't be able to do any more laps.
I think he would. Yeah, I think that Mazzy is quite blessed that he's going to be going through to Q3. I think that the last time he's made it into Q3 was, if I can try and remember at the top of my head, was Britain.
That's a long way. Discreetly could have done a one... Oh, Discreetly's got one more lap, I just realised.
And he's going to try and go for it. This will be his last lap.
His
And his
previous
last
lap...
attempt to improve.
Yep, his previous lap, which was a 1:15.6, I believe. But it was invalidated, so could he do better? With that Ferrari engine,
He's
it's
up by
sounding
by
lovely.
half a tenth.
Yeah.
So now goes onto the double right, takes it nice and narrow. A very neat exit as well on that Scuderia Ferrari. And now approaches onto the sequence of S's.
Keeps it in 6th. Lifts off the
Slight bit of a lift. Bit of tailwind.
Yeah, but keeps it in. Goes into 4th. Nice exit. Comes up to 2nd.
Now onto the sharp left-hander, then to a quick right-hander.
Goes into 3rd. Gently goes onto it all, comes back and...
Oh, wheel spin again. Across the line, and he does get P3. He is guaranteed safety regardless.
Yep.
But he got 3rd in Q2.
Yeah. Quite fast start for him, actually.
So there we have it for Q2 of GP2. We do have a wide variety of tyre choices with Superb Cam, Discreetly, Smithy, and Kosher and Fright Night. Both going to be starting. They are going to be starting on the Ultras. Meanwhile, Paraquix, Chill, and Manzi will be starting on the Supers. And there are only going to be 2 Hypersoft runners, which is Chalky and Top Gooner.
But the 2 drivers that are out are Horn Dog and Touch Nacho. Unlucky to both of them.
Very unlucky from, I think, not only from Horn, but also to Dutch.
I just
and
said
a string of unfortunate mistakes from Dutch on the lap times that, well, the lap he was trying to post on the Ultras, and it just didn't work.
I'm seeing Fright Night's pace in the Q2. I think he might actually have a shot of competing for probably 5th, maybe even 6th. But
I think I would say for Fright Night, I think he could possibly compete for bottom 10.
Yeah, but we just got to figure out. We just need to find out what pace he's got in the race. Because going from one race in GP3 to then going up to GP2, which, to be honest, is a big step.
It's a big leap. Yeah, it is a big leap.
Plus doing one race and then...
It's like having a GP4 driver jumping themselves straight to GP1. It's a huge leap, and he's basically stepping into the unknown.
And to
not only that, it's that it can also help you in the long term.
And to anyone that's thinking, why did Phil say GP4? We don't have a GP4.
It was basically an example.
It was an example. But we could have had the GP4, but I think we need a little bit more drivers. And I don't know who was first, because they all went out at the same time.
Top Gunner is out first.
Yeah. So, what are your predictions for pole position in Q3? We haven't had that question in a long while, have we? You've seen Top Gunner.
I'm going to say Superb Cam.
Okay. I'm going to say Top Gunner because I think if he continues the pace that he had in Q2...
Despite the fact that his I think he only did 1 lap in Q2.
Yeah, but
we weren't entirely sure if that was his benchmark.
Yeah, but it was on Ultras.
Or that would have been. Yeah.
As you see, Top Gunner comes up to turn 5. Gets a nice exit out into turn 6 and turn 7.
And then 7.
It's a lovely exit coming to turn 8. Which after turn 8 is turn 9, 10, 11 and 12?
Yeah.
I'm learning my numbers.
You see how smooth Top Gunner is and the S's.
Just small adjustments. As you come up to turn 13.
I do think that Williams are doing some slight improvements. It's either that or Top Gunner's adapted to that car quite significantly. As the top gunner now approaches onto the last corner, as he
comes up and
takes
does
the
a
normal racing line.
14.9.
142.9, that would have been the fastest in... No, second fastest still in... If that was in Q2, with Gerald Smithy doing a 115.2.
Yeah, as
Para does a 1:14.6. 14.6. And Fright Night with a 1:14.7. While Manzi does a 1:15.5.
Now Fright's only 1/10, well, 300ths, I mean, behind Power. As Chill does a 1:14.5.
Chill does a 1:14.5.
Those Williams has improved a lot.
And then Chalky has gone into the pits. He's on the Ultras.
Kosher does a 1:15.6. Just pointing that out there. Who's in 7th? As Banzi obviously did a 1:15.5. So.
Meanwhile, Top Gun has actually improved his time with a 1:14.539.
3 attempts again, between
a third of a tenth still.
Yeah. So this is probably going to be a close one now. As discreetly comes out onto his outlap.
Top Gunner is a third of a tenth. Top Gunner is a third of a tenth slower than his teammate, whereas Fright Night is
a third of a tenth slower than Power.
Less than 300ths slower than Para. So you are right. Meanwhile, Smith has actually improved with a 1:14.7, with Manzi's improved as well with a 1:14.8, which jumps the gap between him and AMG Kosher to over 8/10 now.
As we see, discreetly coming up to turn 13.
Onto the very twisty and sophisticated stadium section. It's a very hard section to try and judge, especially onto the sharp left.
Yep, it's a packed in. It's full packed in that stadium. It's
very jam-packed it is.
Yeah. So they'll be expecting a big payoff at this one. As discreetly is coming down to turn 1, doing 45 kilometers per hour, which is in miles per hour.
215 again.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little bit aggressive.
I've never ever seen a car that's done 216 before.
No, so he's pushing the Ferrari. There's a 27.9 in the first sector.
As discreetly that goes on to the double right-hander, turn 7 and turn 6 and 7. I mean,
and they're coming up to turn 8.
Turn 8,
which is the start of the S's, which is turn 9, 10, 11, and 12.
Oh, discreetly goes wide. Lovely Colt has now joined. So that means he will be on a little bit of a disadvantage, but we'll find out and see what his pace will be like regardless. But we never know, that Colt's pace will still be eligible to compete against Para.
Yeah, I think that when Jolt came in, I think it might have put discreetly off a little bit, but we'll see how it goes. This discreetly goes back on to another lap.
Discreetly goes and do another lap.
He probably will be upset with that lap.
Meanwhile, Superb Cam and Chalky are going to be on their flying laps as well. One discreetly gets the understeer on turn 3.
Yeah, I think he might have been validated his lap a little bit, but we'll see how it goes.
He's up by a quarter of a second as well.
Needs to keep it calm and collective. It's a nice cornering on those, on the 2 double right-handers. Going up to turn 8 and up to turn 9.
Oh, the understeer again!
Ferrari's having problems with it.
It does look like the discreet is running a slightly more understeery setup.
Yep, but it's 2 attempts upon his time. So
2 seconds up.
Not 2 attempts on. Today's not really numbers.
Well, it's not here, William.
Thank you.
And
As he
it
goes
does look
into
like
the pit.
Discreetly is going to be boxing.
Yeah.
So,
Let's just see Superb Cam coming up onto turn 8. Gonna go on turn 1, turn 10.
see how he approaches the S's. And again, it's
Nice
more
and
neat
smooth.
than Discreetly.
Nice and smooth on those assets. Going up to turn 13. Probably. It can be an unlucky corner if you get it wrong onto turn 14 and 15. Gets a bit tail happy at the back there.
As Super Cam now goes onto the last two corners and fully unwinds the Mercedes powered engine. Across the line it goes fastest with a 1:14.1.
I'm getting a feeling someone's going to get into the 113s. Don't know why.
That could be a huge shout.
Yeah, I'm just getting a feeling that could be happening as Power comes up to turn 5 and he loses it. Loses it, but he actually caught it.
Back end by a huge amount and it goes wide on the exit turn 7.
Yep. Thank you, camera people, for showing me that he didn't lose it fully.
Meanwhile, Chill and Top Gunner are both on their outlaps, while Smithy and Manzi are currently doing their flying laps, and Discreetly is now coming out again to do his flying lap as well.
I'm on board with
Para
as he comes up to the final last corner. Did 118.7, but it was invalidated as he's going down to the main. As he's going down the main
across the line. And he goes on to 1:17.1. So that mistake at turn 5 had costed him 2.5 seconds.
Chalky's
Lost in
turn
that balance.
3. Nice corner from Chalky as we go down the second DRS zone, which
Smithy has not improved with a 1:14.9, so he still sticks in P6. Meanwhile, Manzi is going to be crossing the line and goes fastest in P4 with a 1:14.6 now.
Only 300s behind Power as well. So everybody looks 3.
Oh, actually no, it's a third of a tenth faster than Para. So we've got a third of a tenth slower than Chill for Top Gunner, and a third of a tenth faster than Para for Manzi.
And then third of a tenth slower from Friday to Power. So it's close in that battle. As Chalky comes around to the last corner, does a
has retired from the session, and Chalky now goes up to P8. His Kosher doesn't look like he will be going out anymore.
As Chill comes up to this last corner, goes around the swooping right-hander, goes across the line.
Does not improve.
But he's got one more try.
But Top Gunner does improve, but it would have got him into P2. Meanwhile, Smithy has gone quicker with a 1:14.4.
Power needs to.
So Smithy is definitely trying to rein Williams' parade at the moment. And Manzi's gone quicker now with a 1:14.4. 9.5 thousandths behind his teammate.
But 100ths in front of. Well, actually, no, not
100ths in front of Chill. And Discreetly's done a 1:14.523, which spreads out to the Williams team.
This is going to be an entertaining race, I can say that sure. Power is. It's just unlucky and hasn't done his lap.
Oh, Top Gunner's got the understeer on the S's.
Right now,
and has lost time.
Right now, just may have invalidated his lap time. I think he has. But
he has.
Hasn't improved. That would have actually pushed him up to 3rd. Actually. So.
But Top Gunner still gets P2.
Yeah, because Manzi and Smithy isn't slowing down. I think it's because everybody's running out of fuel.
So Top Gunner has actually reigned on the parade of Smithy, giving Smithy his first opportunity of getting it. Well, I think it's his second opportunity on the top spot. Well, on the top row of the grid.
I like how you predicted Superb Cam for first, and I predicted Top Gunner, and yet they're both on the front row.
Coincidence?
Yeah, our
I think
predictions
not.
are point. I need to get my board for the
Yeah.
other predictions.
Yeah, you're bored.
My board. Where's my
So,
pen?
Superb Cam. Showing the true colours of his pace once again.
Yep. Well, will he keep that pace up until the race? As his teammate, they just
I think the biggest loser though is Para.
yeah. But like
I
you
think the
said,
Ferrari team is struggling.
Power doesn't really need to hit high in this race.
No.
So I will put a little bit of a screenshot in a
Because I
moment.
do think that Para will be announced to be the Drivers' Championship. It's just the Constructors.
But it depends on where he finishes in this race. He may actually get the drivers as well. If he finishes probably in the top 3 or top 5.
So there we have it for the Q3 as the results are as follows, with Cam starting once again on pole. With Top Gunner rounding up the front row with Smithy and Manzi. Again, a Renault second row lockout.
Yep. With Chill third, the 2 Ferraris in.
I think that's the first time Renault has done that.
I got my numbers middled up. I said Chill for third, and never mind. Right.
So, here we go. As we are on to the start grid of the Mexican Grand Prix. Top Gunner does actually have the tyre advantage, but both Cam and Smithy has got the duration advantage.
Well, technically,
While
Manzi has it,
and
actually.
Chill
Technically,
on
Chill
top
and
of that within
Manzi.
the top 3.
I know, but if Manzi and Chill just somehow catch up to them, they may have it.
While Lovely Colt has now just currently swapped onto the super soft tyres.
I'll probably go on Ultras if I was them. Give the supers to last. Look at that, Phil. It's the time for predictions. I love this segment.
It's now time for the top 3 predictions.
We need an intro. We need intro music for this, but I can't be able to find any.
Well, I was planning on finding an intro music, but I don't want to get copyrighted.
Never do I. Right, back to. No, come on
So,
board.
Owen,
Ooh.
what's going to be your top 3
Right, my top
at the
3
end of the race?
is going to be Cam first.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to go. I'm going to go Chill for second.
Okay.
Then this is going to be a bit weird, but I'm going to go for probably Friday Night for third. I think
Really?
because I think he might actually have a good start. Even though he's on hypers. Actually knows
Do you think that you have a driver to watch?
Driver to watch is probably Kosher.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he could have a really good start and could be up in the top. Probably 7th or 8th. But what's your prediction, my buddy?
Right. As we all know about 1.1, sometimes my top 3 predictions are very unorthodox. But for GP2, I think there might be some surprises.
Surprise
I'm gonna go Top Gunner. I'm gonna go Top Gunner in first.
Yeah.
Discreetly second.
Yep.
And I'm gonna say Manzi in third.
Okay. What's your driver to watch?
Driver to watch. I'm going to say Chalky, even though he's on the hypers, and he's one of two in the
Yeah.
hypers. If he tries and benefits and utilises the two-stop well, I think he could possibly get himself into the top 5.
Okay. I would probably say also keep an eye on Friday night because it might be his debut to GP2. He might have a good one. That's why I'm putting him in third, just in case he had a good race.
Yeah.
Hey, that rhymes. I need a, but whatever. I need,
Yeah, never
need
mind.
speech. I need speech. That's what I need.
So then, as we all know, as we are now currently waiting, as there is 2 more minutes left of the 5-minute break, I think we'll jump on to GP1, which will be tomorrow. Do you think you have any more thoughts on what's going to happen in GP1, or do you think the title, the Drivers' Championship for GP1 could be done and dusted?
To be honest, well, first place at the moment is going through a kind of a downfall at the moment because he hasn't had much. Well, he hasn't had big points in the last couple of races, so I think he might be going under pressure. While second and third, well, third place for sure is down as literally one USA. He could probably say could get some good points in Mexico, maybe third. So it might put him into the contention of fighting for the title, and then, well, it just depends on what happens tomorrow in Mexico, and if it does run over to Brazil or Abu Dhabi, it's just going to be a close battle between all three of them, well, between the top three. Well,
So do you think there could possibly be a one-race shootout?
potentially, but it just depends on what happens tomorrow night, and
yeah,
obviously if it goes through to Brazil, it just depends on what happens in Brazil as well. As the drivers are now should be
drivers are
getting into
now
their
ready.
cars. Should we get into their cars and feeling the cars, seeing how the atmosphere out there is? It's a little bit cloudy, but there is
some blue patches of sky, and
yeah.
looks like there's also some mist as well.
Yeah.
As you can see on the horizon, on the further forwards of the pit entry.
Yeah. God. Oof, Jesus. As it's
You also see
formation.
on the background.
Yeah. As now it's formation. I will let
There we
Phil
go on the formation lap. So we are now officially on the formation lap of GP2. So the grid are as follows. Superb Cab on top. Superb Cab starts off in pole position with Top Kuna starting in second. Very good strong qualifier between both of those drivers. And then for third and fourth, I think it's for the first time in Season 3, it's a Renault second row lockout with Smithy in third and Mans in fourth. Meanwhile, Chill will be started in 5th place with discreetly the first of the Ferraris. He started in P6. Para will be started very low with low top 10 or low bottom 5. It started in P7 with the debutant of Fright Night. Meanwhile, Chalky, who's currently the only Sauber on the grid and also on tonight's race, will be starting in P9 with Kosher. Will be starting in P10. Meanwhile, Horn will be starting in P11, who's also the only Red Bull driver for this race as well, and Dutch will be following up alongside him, starting in P12, and the latecomer of Lovely Colt, who is in the Mercedes, but whenever he gets points, it will be sent to his current team of Toro Rosso. So as the rest of the grid is forming up, and the last ditch, or last split second of warming up the rears, To be started off, the race are as follows, as the rest of the grid is forming up, as we are now ready for GP2,
2, 3,
for 5 red
5,
lights,
and it's
and it's lights out, and away we go. Top Gun has actually gone to a little bit of an okay start, and it goes into 2 wide off a superb cam, and it's still going to be maintaining a 2 wide gap between the two. Meanwhile, Smith is actually keeping up behind him, utilising the slipstream of the Top Gun as Top Gun breaks super early to let Cam utilise the inside. Meanwhile, Horn has actually lost a couple of places on that one, and same goes with Chalky, and Lovely Colt is slowly picking up the pieces. Meanwhile, Paraquix oh, Manzi! And it looks like AMG Coach is losing a lot of places as well. Meanwhile, Dutch Nacho is still onto the inside of Fright Night. And also Paraquix is still trying to go onto the inside of Chill. Meanwhile, Chill is actually picking up the pace off of Discreetly. And also, Top Gun has actually lost position off of Smithy as well.
I'm going to say at the start of the, coming into the first corner, Discreetly had a brilliant start. And to be honest, so Defrona has he gone on the outside of Power.
But it does look like Power is actually defended perfectly, but look, Fright Night breaks a split second late. And now here comes the start of the train from 4th below.
Chill.
Meanwhile, Top Gooner is hunting down Smithy. Look at the speed difference between these two. Meanwhile, Chill is going to be sticking onto Patel for Discreetly. Going onto the inside. Breaks and goes down the inside with Discreetly onto turn 1. And makes it stick for turn 2 and 3. And that's him jump to P4. And Para's gone. Has spun it.
I think there's some contact between Friday Night and Power. But Lovely Colt had a wonderful start, moving from last place to 7th.
Especially that he has missed qualifying. He is currently on a stock, a balanced setup, basically preset 3.
Well, you might need to keep on Friday Night for the rest of the race if he's been at this stage.
That is correct, as Dutch Nacho is getting overtaken by Chalky. Chalky goes onto the outside of a Dutch Nacho, and Dutch Nacho tries to go onto the outside of the stadium section, gets the traction.
Superb cam with
Chalky.
That's the fastest lap, and now DRS is enabled.
Chalky is still still having Dutch behind him. Meanwhile, Dutch is going to be utilising the slipstream and toe to try and get as close as possible of the Sauber.
This was picking up the speed on between him and Discreetly. He's nearly 3/10 beyond Discreetly. But so is Colt on right now. I'd give it on the battle for 5th, you probably keep it on way.
I'll try.
Yeah, probably just keep it on the battle between Chalky and Dutch, because Horn Dog is the catch point behind Dutch now.
But it does look like Horn is actually spotting some front left wing damage. And I do think Dutch is suffering wing damage as well.
I think
he's lost a front left cascade. And he's losing a lot of time onto Chalky.
I think for Friday Night's debut, this might actually be a really entertaining race for him. As he's got DRS.
Again with DRS enabled on to lap 4.
He's catching up on Discreetly as Discreetly's using a bit of power as Friday Night overtakes Discreetly and keeps it.
Keeps it in between the lines.
As it is, and now he's closing the gap with probably, he's closing the gap between him and Joe. So this is a really strong performance from Friday Night. As Manzi does a 118.2.
As Manzi gets the fastest lap, 118.2. That is on fresh ultras though.
Yeah, as one dog is catching up on Nacho while Power is
I was
catching
actually
up
catching
on
up
Horn.
to Horn.
As Chill is catching up onto Smithy. So there's battles everywhere.
We'll possibly see the more fire between the two drivers.
Yeah, but now with Finite into the mix, it's going to be a good battle, isn't it?
You see Chill getting closer and closer, hounding the Renault driver.
He's got him.
Very far onto the inside.
He's got him.
Brakes at the perfect point. Bit
But
of wheel
Smithy's
spin,
good.
and there's been some contact between the two rivals. And Friday almost got into the mix of it.
I think Smithy. You have to think Smithy was being aggressive there.
I think Smithy did see the opportunity to try to go for the overtake on turn 2 on the inside of Chill. And
Yeah,
then when Chill had loss of traction.
Yeah, but now with those two battling, it's me for Colt and discreetly catch up.
Oh, it's Chill. There's been some more contact. As Chill was going onto the outside of Smithy in the first of the S's.
Now look, the Colt is coming up on Smithy's rear end. At least the Colt had a brilliant start there, just saying.
Started in P13, he's now on to P5 within 6 laps.
Yeah.
And Smithy is now
Smithy's
trigger now.
Pits.
Going into the pits after lap 6.
I guess.
After 6. Well, after 5 laps actually. Meanwhile, Dutch has now pitted as well.
Yep. As we see Friday night on Colts. There's a little bit of wing damage to the on the grass area, but the leaves from the trees are blowing in really hard. It's annoying me now.
Well, that's trees for you. You just don't know when to leave.
Arthur, shut up.
Sorry, yeah, that was horrible. That was a very cheesy joke.
As we go back to the race, Colt is catching up on Chill.
Surprisingly, Coach is actually picking up a pace as well. Staying behind it discreetly, as discreetly goes super wide on the X and the S's.
The biggest winner at the moment is the Colt Coat. The Colt on 9.
I think at the moment, if we exclude Lovely Colt, because obviously he was a latecomer,
yeah.
So far the biggest winner at the moment is between Fright Night and Kosher.
Yeah. But the biggest loser is Manzi.
Oh, discreetly got super close.
As Power. Oh, Chalky got past on the
Chalky with his 5 seconds to stop go.
As there's a huge train from Chill down to discreetly.
For a battle for third as Colt tries to go onto the inside of turn 2.
Well, it's on
And
the
he's still
outside.
got to be utilising the outside on turn 3. And that's a lovely move from Colt.
But it's Fright Night.
Fright Night.
It looks like he's going in between them. Both. If he keeps it together, he's got Chill as well.
This is unbelievable racing.
What a debut for
But Chill getting look at the traction that Chill got on the exit of turn 7.
Yeah, cheers. This is a wonderful debut for Friday Night in consistent battles. As he gets 3 seconds stop, 3 seconds tackle.
Meanwhile, Kosher, Para's now entering into the mix now. This is now becoming a battle for 4th.
Oh, it's 10 in the set to 3. Push. On dog.
Oh yeah, it is on. Late break on turn 13.
Yeah. That's what he comes to plans to 10 balls in on 15. Big Horn Dog might be getting to the pits, but I think he's got every wing damage, I'm not sure.
While
Yes, it
Kosher
does.
is planning on going for a move on to discreetly. Oh, way too far back. And Para's gone for a late lunge on Kosher.
Yeah, but now it's now is it going to be team orders between Discreetly and Power?
We don't actually know at the moment.
But we'll say one thing on Lovely Court is closing that gap on Guna.
Is there actually going to be team orders?
I think there might be a much more as Chill is catching up onto Lovely Colt.
It does look like Para's actually closing onto discreetly. Discreetly goes wide, and Para has now gone through. Top Guna has now gone into the pits after 9 laps.
I think it's because he was on the Hypers. As
He is on that is true.
As Colt moves up to second, there'll be a 12-second gap between him and Cam.
Super Cam now.
Is closing that gap down a little bit, but not by much, as he locks up in that turn 1. He gets a lovely tail turn 3.
While AMG Kosher is actually closing the gap on discreetly once again.
Right, this is a question from me to you. Considering that it's been 9 laps into this race, and we've seen Friday Night form now, do you think Friday Night is there for is like drivable for GP2? Probably, I don't know, stay in GP2, or do you think he needs to stay in GP3?
I'd say that I'd say that he does actually have pace for GP2. I think he does have some margin of errors, but that's normally based on human error. Based on like ERS management, time management. There's Manzi! Crashes out. For a very good qualifying.
Yeah, crashes out on the S's. Just saw his car.
Crashes out on the S's.
Yeah. Lucky as Friday Night.
Unfortunate for Manzi there.
Power Friday Night. As Power looks to overtake, he backs off a little bit, gives him a little tap on the rear. Tell him that he's there.
There's a 3-second time penalty.
Lovely Colt is closing the gap down from 12 seconds to 10.6 in a matter of a lap. So Colt is got a lot of pace. He closes down to 9 seconds now.
Colt is actually rigging it. I think Cam's actually making some mistakes. As Coach has actually gone, has now jumped up a position, and Para's now gone up to P4 now.
I think Cam might have some problems with the speed. Might have some problems there because you wouldn't go from 10 seconds down to 8 seconds in a matter of corners. Keeping on Cam, but let's just see if Friday Night on Power went down the main straight with DRS and the Mercedes engine against a Ferrari, and the Power
now goes defensive.
Goes defensive, but Friday Night backs off.
Well, Fright Night is going to be trying to take these apexes a lot cleaner than Para, as Para just struggles to try and get the traction down.
Yeah, he went a little bit wide on the exit, but as Fright Night looks to go on the outside, but doesn't go for it.
Oh, nothing. Paraquix continues with his good mentality and defends perfectly off of the speed of the Force India.
I think at the moment Power would win the title at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, you need to be in the top 5 to win it, and if things stay as it is, you may get it.
if Para finishes as he is and Top Gunner finishes as he is, then Para will become the GRL Season 3 champion for GP2. And I think not only that, there's a possibility that the constructors might be done as well. But we do not know that one.
Yep, as Para looks to go on to chill, while R19 is looking to go on to Para. As Top Gunner is coming up to Kocha.
Let's not forget that Top Gunner is currently going for doing the 2-stop.
Oh, Para go for a second time booster. No, that might be...
That could possibly damage him for later, on the latter side of the race.
Discreetly is catching up onto the other McLaren of Dutch and Dutch show.
Of Dutch.
Dying over this end. Ugh, alright now. It's all dog, it's a 3-second time penalty.
We'll go back onto Top Gunner.
And go back onto Power on chill. Oh yeah. But also keep an eye on Colt as he's closing the gap down from into the 7.9 seconds.
Oh, it looks like Top Gunner has got the toe. He's got much better slip, much better exit on the last 2 corners. And now waltzed past Kosher with the Mercedes engine.
Yep, and Top Gunner moves
Top Gunner going into P6.
Right now gets in second, gets another, probably a 3-second time penalty. I think that will be his second, I'm not sure. As it stands, Power needs to overtake Shell to confirm his title, but if Top Gunner catches up to Fright Night, it keeps the title, gets the title race continuing up to Brazil.
It's either that or Top Gunner has to finish ahead of Para in order to continue it into Brazil.
As lovely call is 5 seconds now behind Cam. Cam is losing time
But
somewhere.
I think regardless if Top Gunner finishes ahead
Cam's going
of
to
Para,
pits. Lovely call
regardless if
first.
Top Gunner finishes ahead of Para, I think Para will still be drivers champion.
Yep,
As Para's now utilising the slipstream of Chill and makes it easy.
Waltz has passed him. Don't want to say Waltz, but never mind.
Meanwhile, with the other Ferrari, with AMG Coasters now also going into the pits. The Superb Cabs now exit out of the pits and go to P6.
That's just really catching up on the McLaren.
Oh, that was close. But the speed of that Ferrari engine.
That is a bit risky on his behalf while Dutch gets a good line. Oh, it looks like the screen is saying this is my corner.
It's nearly stick. And Scooter's now jumped to P9.
Top Gunner on Fright Night.
Dutch now gets another 3-second time penalty, and Top Gunner's now catching up to Fright Night. So Fright Night will be pitting.
Yeah, but so will Top Gunner if he needs to.
I think he is going to be boxing in this lap now. Yes, he is. So that means Top Gunner will be unleashed and be on P4.
Yeah, but he's got his teammate Chill, who's only 9/10 behind Power. And Power is only 2.2 seconds behind Cole. And I believe Cole hasn't had any time.
No.
Just gonna confirm that.
If he has, just say yeah. If then not, just say no.
No, he has not. Thank you, guys.
Well, it looks like Chill's actually losing some time now. Of Chill. north of Para. Just losing a lot of time from the Ferrari engine, well, from the Ferrari driver.
Joe's losing a lot of time with chill. I'm recording now. Keep on getting on with the clothes. Clothes. God damn it.
Clothes? Clothes?
We're losing it tonight. I can say that for sure.
Here we are. Meanwhile, discreetly, the battle for 8th, with Kosha's actually behind him as well. The battle for 8th is closing the gap of the other Ferrari-powered car of Sauber. With Chalky behind the wheel, with Cam setting the fastest lap on 1:17.8.
Nice lap from him.
Very good strong lap from a strong race pace. Well, fastest lap in the race for the Force India driver. As discreetly now. And Kosha. As we see on Kosha's perspective of discreetly flying past Chalky, and Chalky tries to go for a late lunge to keep his position. But discreetly, it's going to be going too wide, and he's going to be utilising the DRS. But Chalky is still going to be sticking by with him, and goes super deep, then goes narrow, and has now cost him 2 places.
As
From that late lunge to keep his position, it's just not worked in favour.
This is Carlos going into the pits, but this is going to be...
Has stayed out. Was top Gooner.
It's probably team orders at the moment. I think Jill probably got it from the people in the ward area saying, look, your teammates catching up, you need to run past. And as Top Gunner is on the charge now to catch up with lovely Colt.
Meanwhile, AMG Kosha is picking up the pace and now is going to overtake discreetly on the approach of turn 1. Just has made it stick before that corner.
Just got confirmation from the race people saying that R19 did the fastest lap of 1:18 point something.
17.3.
1:17.5. Sorry.
Well, I was close.
Yeah. As he's catching up to Chalky. Well, Power's catching up on the...
Oh, Smithy's lost the back end of the S's.
I'm not quoting horn here, but Smithy does have damage. I was just about to ask if Smithy's got damage, and I realise he does. I'm not quoting horn, please don't take the pick out of me.
Meanwhile, Shell has gone into the pits.
I was so close to saying, does Smithy has damage? That's so close.
Just damaging Smithy.
Alright, back to race.
Anyway,
We lost it.
Jumped Chill. Same as with Kosha now.
We lost it.
As Chill has gone on to the Super Softs.
Yeah, I think Super Sauce is the right tire to end on, but you need to keep them fresh and not make mistakes, or your tires will burn out quickly. Right, do you know what
At the moment, as we're halfway through into the race.
do you know when it comes to the driver of the day thing, are we adding Colt into it considering he hasn't done quali or...
I think we'll give him an honourable mention.
Okay then. Sorry Colt, if you...
We'll give him an honourable mention. Because I think we're... Yeah, we could have just given him driver of the day because of his qualifying and had to start from the back. And that's it, and gone up like 8 places within 6 laps.
Yeah. But it's just where people finished or started from Q3. onto the race. As
Yeah.
Chill is
There's
catching
a
up on Kosher's out.
Kosher, whereas Fright Night's overtook
Oh! What was that
discreetly.
contact?
There's been some contact between Chill and Kosher.
And again!
And there's been contact with Chill and Kosher again! Ooh, getting the elbows out.
I think that's being a bit too not impatient. He's being impatient. There you go.
Getting them elbows out.
Yeah. He wants room.
Two British cars, the two British Formula 1 team manufacturers, or Formula 1 teams, will get their elbows out against each other. As Top Good is actually catching up
and
to Cole.
But as the battles between Chill and Kosher happens, Friday Night is just sneaking up far behind. He's not giving up.
So we are good. Go on to that 20.
Dog and Friday Night both got 3 second time penalties. Saying that, because I'm not saying it one after the other.
We're on to lap 20. Top Gooner's actually closing that gap at an alarming rate as we go back onto Chill.
Smith to go 3 second
Utilising the slipstream. And look at Friday Night though.
Oh, Smithy retired.
Gone. Smith is retired. Second sector.
Unlucky to both Renaults.
That's a double retirement.
The Renaults.
Renaults.
Well, they're kicking in the factory in the garage right now. Must be angry at the Renaults at the moment, but
They must be kicking themselves. They've had a brilliant qualifying.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Top Gooner is just slowly closing that gap on the Lovely Colt. As Lovely Colt now goes into the pit. I think Colt's should have pitted a lot earlier.
Yeah, and it's Friday Night is coming up on the inside of Kosher, and he keeps
Kosher up to 13 has made it stick.
Nice little take from there actually. But now it's come up onto Chill, which I believe Kosher is Chill is on the faster tyre, and Friday Night
Slightly faster tyre. Colt is on ultras. That means it will be finishing on the faster tyre.
As Power Quick, so Cam is now catching up onto Takuna for first place. Just asking.
Takuna is still sticking to the 2-stop.
Just asked. Oh, chill, then we'll stick there. Just asking, when do you want to talk about drive day? Do you want to do lap 31, lap 32 again?
Lap 33.
Lap 33, okay then. Yep. We say we got
interesting.
We say we got some choices about lap 29.
Well, I'm saying we've got the choices on lap 20. No, lap 30.
Yeah.
So Top Gooner now goes into the pits. So here we go. We go on board to Lovely Colt. So he now approaches onto the last corner.
Top Gooner goes in. As Power goes past him. Which moves him up to
So we're going to
second.
see Top Gooner now.
Yep,
There's his teammate. Chill will be ahead of him. There's Fright Night.
Goes past him. Keeps it.
Oh, there's been a touch.
He just Chill, but nice reactions from Chill to keep the car stick. Keep the car stick. Yeah. Med sense my hand
check.
Yeah. As Kosher is catching up on Top Luna.
I don't think that's going to change because Top Gooner is actually on the supers again. I thought Top Gooner was going to go on the ultras.
Right now, he must not have the entry of the S's. Because I think that's his third time penalty from the S's.
Yes, it's quite common getting penalties in that corner.
Yeah, because you tell one because it was like, oh, you turned into really, oh, invalidated it. Or that got penalty. If you turn in too late, you mess up your rhythm to it, so we're giving credit on that.
You mess up your rhythm and then you get understeer. Meanwhile, goes lovely Colt. Gets the first lap of the 169.
Lovely time for him. No pulling that.
A very strong time, respectively.
As he's 2.2 seconds behind Power. Is on off while Power and are both on supers as Dutch Metro is on top Corn Dog. Basically, if Chalky does survive the race, he will get 1 point for being in the month.
We'll be getting the 1 point. On Top Gunner's perspective, and Fright Night is losing a lot of time. Chill.
Yeah. As Power is closing the gap by a second every lap on Super Cam, so I think there's
But Colt is gaining, closing that gap.
And he gets
faster. Another fast lap. Getting faster and faster.
That Mercedes Power
The Top Gunner is now catching up with Fright Night. I think Fright Night does not look like has the slipstream. No, the DRS. But Top Gunner is actually closing up onto Fright Night.
As we see the Colt is only half a second behind Power. But this is in Power's favour for the title.
Also, yeah, for the Drivers' Championship.
But not the Constructors. As Discreetly needs to
Constructors, because I think Discreetly needs to get 2 more places, and Ferrari secures it.
But the way that Gunner's going, and the way the finals going as well, might actually help Discreetly. I think Kosher is actually slowing down as well.
And still sticking by with lovely Colt. As he's now going to be opening DRS and now utilising the overtake mode as Parrot is trying to break the toe off of Colt.
But Colt's
tried to go for a bit of a late lunge, but it was a bit too late.
Yeah, and so I'm quite late lunge as well.
And he gets a 3-second time penalty. Now it could spice things up. As lovely Colt's now going to try and go for another late lunge, but nothing.
Well, look at another 3-second time penalty. Orn is not having a good time on this track. I think Orn needs to practice for Brazil then. Get used to his car. As Wilkie Colt has a good traction for those S's as he's looking to go for the overtake on turn 13, and he does.
Oh, Para's messed up. Para's outbraked himself on turn 13, which gave Colt the opportunity.
Now Colt can use those ultras and dice with the time between him and Cam, as he does.
Only 10 laps to go. As Colt now trying to break the toe off of Para. But Para, the toe that he's going to get.
As Para looks with him, oh, big contact!
Oh, it was contact!
Oh, Para crashed it then, but it's not. As Fright Night takes Chill.
Fright Night. Chill gets the inside. It keeps P4.
But Gunner's behind Fright Night. This is actually helping Gunner at the moment. As Gunner is going to go for the
Oh, there's been contact.
It looked like that Gunner was actually going to do a double overtake into that corner. But it's highly doubtful that he would. As that is a beautiful overhead.
Backs off. Fright Night.
Yes, another time.
3-second time penalty. That's Fright Night. Yeah, that is a good aerial view of Fright Night towards Chill.
That's what I said. No, I think I just hate those S's. I think it's getting to him. Frightening. Really? Frightening.
Frightening.
Shut up!
Alright. Anyway.
As I was trying to say, Fright Night used to keep his head on a swivel and keep calm.
By the time Fright Night gets close to Chill, his ERS just goes.
Yeah. But Fright Night is catching up as Cole is catching up onto Cam.
Only just though. Because Fright Night's not on the inside of turn 5.
Will he have it on turn 6 and 7? No. No.
Yeah, he does.
Yes, but there's also... But then again, he's kind of in a bad predicament and still gets a 3-second time
penalty.
He's kind of in a predicament because he's kind of got two really hot.
And it looks like the rain's coming down.
Yeah, so... Well, I think
it is starting to rain. With 8 laps to go.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Chill.
Yeah, this is some spots coming down.
So DRS and overtake.
Well, he's got to be
Mercedes on Mercedes engine.
He's got to be careful because he's got his teammate behind him as well if he's not paying attention.
That is true.
A mistake from Chill.
Top Gunner's perspective. And then go back onto Chill's. There you see Top Gunner in the background.
But Fright Night goes super wide and
there's been contact.
Oh, that's a broken wing as well. Gunner's took them both.
Gunner's got the opportunity and gone fourth.
So this whole race will continue on to Brazil. So this could actually be a one-shot race. Potentially.
Or a two race shootout.
Yeah.
We don't actually know at the moment, but it does look like that Fright Night is still within touching distance.
I think Fright Night actually showed a lot of courage out there today.
Shows a lot of calibre though, I have to admit.
Yeah. But I have two choices for driver of the day at the moment as Chill goes into the pits to change his wing.
Yeah, I think that was because of the altercation of Fright Night. So, well, I did say that Mexico is the home of controversy, especially in real life and also in this game. In game as well.
Yep. Well, for Fright Night's first race here, and
I think there's... It's Horn.
Yeah, he lost his wing as well.
The S's. And the rain is getting worse and worse.
I think it might be time to go on the inters, but I don't think it is ready yet. As Top Gunner is sliding a little bit in these S's. Yeah, he's losing a lot of time in the S's as Fright Night is catching up on him as well. DRS
is now officially disabled. Cam. Top Gunner.
Top Gunner just crashed it.
Cam has gone past the pit box. Cam has gone past the pit box.
But Colt gone in though.
Colt has gone in.
So is Para.
The same goes with Para.
Will Fright Night go in? Everybody's going in. So Colt has potentially just cost his race.
I think Cam might have costed him. We'll have a look at Cam's perspective.
Wrong person.
We'll have a look at Cam and see how he tries and hope.
He's got to go in first gear in that first
conditions.
going for this guy in the corner as
Colt's out. Colt is now out on the inters.
yeah. But Cam needs to be careful, but these S's are going to be horrible.
Yeah, it'll be basically driving on ice.
Yeah. As he's staying in 4th gear, but he has to miss that corner. Colt's
As Kosher has jumped into P4.
Oh, lovely race from Kosher actually. I think I'm actually has 2. Well, I think I'm actually just trying my driver of the day, to be honest.
Gotta say the same as well.
He's had a lovely race.
He barely made it to Q3, just. I think he just made it into Q3 and now has gone up a couple of places.
Yeah, as
I'll have a look at Cam.
is going to the pits.
Here we see lovely Colt onto the stadium section. Cam is now out of his pit box. So this could be very close, but it does look like that Cam
is just a bit out,
sticking ahead of Colt.
Yeah, he's just gonna. Colt is just gonna be catching up to him now. Colt's got the straight line speed.
There he is in the background, and there's Para. So we're now on to lap 31 of 36.
This has been an entertaining race as Colt is now under a second on Cam. Was under a second on Cam, but now it's coming up against.
Now just over a second, and now gone back under a second, so it does look like Colt has got the advantage on the S's.
Yeah. That's a lovely aerial shot of that. Of the S's, I can say that for sure.
Of the Mercedes and the Force India.
Sturgeon gets a 3-second time penalty, but this is going to be the battle for first.
Battle for the lead.
Colt has actually moved up to 11 places.
Oh, where's Cam going?
As Colt did get a little bit of a curve on the entry, but Cam just lost it on the exit. So
I think Cam got a slight hit, a stray puddle on that last corner. Wasn't him to understeer. Never saw that before.
well, you do now. As Colt gets a really good exit, but it's not going to be enough to catch up to Cam though. Bundle gets
on to Para.
On if you try to get me to mention your name every couple of laps, it's not going to work. I'm sorry.
Meanwhile, lovely Colts still being very very careful on the throttle. But it looks like he's got the aggression onto the S's. But Cam.
He's going to try and get him on the
traction.
You see Power in the background. Let's go. Had a little tap on Cam's rear, but I don't think it was enough for wind damage.
Ooh, Cole getting aquaplaned on that last corner. As we're now on to lap 33 with 3 laps to go. I think we will say for the honourable mention it will be lovely Cole.
Yeah, he's had Honda's in pits. Yeah, Honda's retired.
Yeah,
he had no more in him. So it is going. Everybody in the top 10 is going to get points.
Yep.
Yeah, lovely Cole hard. He didn't do quality, but going from the back to second I'll probably give him a mention for that. But
We'll give him, yeah, we'll give him an honourable mention, but I think for
driver of the day,
proper driver of the day through qualifying and the race, it's got to be Kosher.
Yeah, and the way he's going, he could potentially get through.
Oh, it looks like Cole is getting close. He's got the traction on that last part of the S's, going too wide. Both of them giving each other the required amount of space, and now Cam has now gone defensive onto the left hairpin, sharp left.
But yeah, I agree with you, Phil. Kosher should get up there as there is second 1 and 2. But I believe it's just.
We're now on to lap 34, 36.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to Kosher. He had a good battle. From 10th.
And Colt gets another time penalty.
From 10 to 6. Plus the times on top 3.
I think Kosher's done very, very well.
Yeah. We don't see any battles throughout the whole race anyway, especially with Friday Night and discreetly and Top Kuna. But as it stands, Power will win the Drivers' Championship.
And I do think, if I'm right...
Ooh, Cam gets 3 second time penalty.
Cam gets a 3-second time penalty. I do think that...
Ooh, Cam get wide on it. Next on the Estes. Which will get Colt to...
There's a possibility that Ferrari is actually one of the constructors as well. There is a possibility, but I don't know.
Let's try
I think we just have to find out if the points are updated for next week.
Yeah, hopefully the race report will be up then, as Manzi gets off the session. As Colt gets a lovely...
As Cam's got run onto the inside, and then Colt goes back onto the slipstream of Cam.
But Cam is playing defensive on Colt.
Cam's playing a very good card against Colt, and there's been contact on Cam.
I think Colt just ran Cam up the rear. So Kosher
is still sticking into 4th.
Could potentially get into 3rd. Just saying potentially, I'm not sure.
Yeah, we're not entirely sure of that as well.
Yeah, but Power's actually none. It's actually between Kosher and Power now. Power's in 2nd. Oh,
I still say give it to... Oh, Para!
he's losing it now. Yeah,
getting a bit of a switch, and then Kosher gets a 3-second time penalty now.
God damn it, Kosher. Just want to say something good about it. Joking, Kosher.
Kosher's still sticking in between the lines.
Yeah, just keep doing what you're doing. You get good points.
As we're now on the last lap of the session of this race.
It's the battle between Mercedes engine and Ferrari engine. Now Power has probably confirmed the title for the drivers. Yeah, for sure.
I think it has been confirmed
There's actually
where it stands. But it does look like the Kosher actually is gaining. And the track is now dried up. The rain has now officially stopped.
Yep, and this is where Kosher needs to attack. He's no fuel. As Cam loses a little bit at the rear into turn 4. This is on turn 6 and 7. Kosher is closing the gap now.
He gets a 3-second time penalty.
Right, this is where it's make or break for Kosher.
So anyway, as we look onto the top 2,
Cam gets 3 seconds.
Cam gets another 3-second time penalty.
If R19 catch up
as
on
lovely
Kucha.
Colt will be crossing the line to win the Mexican Grand Prix, with Para in second to win the Drivers' Championship for GP2.
What it's all about for third place at the moment. Who's going to get it? It's all about between Cam, Kucha, and R19.
Oh, Coach gets another time penalty.
Well, Cam won't has. Oh,
Cam will
third.
stay in third. And Coach will stay in fourth.
Top Gunner is up to fourth.
Oh, Top Gunner jumps to fourth.
What does that mean for the title?
Oh.
Does that mean the title race moved on to Brazil, or does it mean it confirms tonight?
That's no idea.
We have to figure that one out. We have to confirm that one next week, or something like that. As Chalky comes now across, going around the stadium section, everybody's giving him importance, and he had an okay race. But he'd be happy with the 1 point.
Yeah. Well then. Expects the unexpected, as people say.
That was really unexpected.
So there we have it, lovely Colt winning the Mexican Grand Prix, with Para in second and Cam in third. It would have been Cam first and then Colt in second and Para third, but we'll find out with the steward's investigation on Monday.
As I just took a screenshot of that, I will get the actual top 3 into the party, which is lovely Colt.
And surprisingly, Colt has actually finished this race without any penalties.
Really not on the right one? Yes. Let's quit. There you are. And last time I checked, lovely Colt doesn't have a mic.
Yeah, he does. He does have a mic. It's just Cam that doesn't have a mic. So there we have it for the Mexican Grand Prix for GP2. Lovely Colt from starting in 13th. Well, controversially, will be taking the win, with Paraquix taking second from starting in 7th. Superb Cam from having a very impressive performance throughout this race. Again, the controversy ensued, and then takes P3. Top Gunner will be has finished in P4, with Kosher in P5. Chill 6th. Fright Night, a good, okay debut of his pace of GP2 in 7th. Anyway, we'll now be commencing the interview of the top 3 drivers. We'll be starting off with lovely Colt. I think I would say it was a bit unfortunate for you that you missed qualifying. I'm guessing that you was hoping for a little bit of a different type of race. Oh, he hasn't got a mic.
God damn it.
Damn it. Yeah.
I have to go down the old route.
Yeah.
Right, where's his name? I'll be right back in a moment. Where is his name? Jeez, oh my god.
Well, as we'll be getting his response of lovely Colts from Owen, and also for Cam, we would say congratulations to both of you, and also wish you the best for Brazil next week. So we'll now be going up to P2, which is Para. I think at the moment, I think you're starting in P7 in qualifying. I think you're struggling to try and even improve your time. Obviously, we know that the corner cutting, while the stringency of the corners are very weird, but I think overall it was actually an alright race for you.
Yeah, it definitely was. Quali was, yeah, I ruined. I'm not that good in quali, so that kind of ruined my last lap because I got invalidated. So I knew I had no chance to improve my first lap time. So I was kind of okay with P7. I mean, I can move up quite quickly in the field. So, but then yeah, the race start was pretty good. I got one position of chill. And then I think in lap 3 I got spun out by someone. I think it was Knight, but yeah, I got dropped to last, so I had to. It ruined my tires as well because they were overheated and they had a lot of wear on them. So I had to start from the back again, just cut cut my way up in the field, and I did manage that. So got up into P3, then. I went from a pit stop and went to another set of supercells because I knew it was going to rain at the end, so I wasn't
Yeah.
going for the ultras, and that worked out perfectly fine. And then I had a battle with Colt, which was quite controversial, I think. So I clipped it, but overall a good race, I think, and I think I won the championship as well with that. So
I think at the
quite
moment we aren't
happy.
entirely sure because we do know that Top Gooner has actually finished in fourth at that race. I think he was the only one that didn't get any time penalties throughout the entirety of the race, which was a huge props to him. Surprisingly, um, if the championship was still going, do you think you'll be more going to be even more determined for next week at Brazil?
Uh, I'm always determined to win a race, so I'll just keep pushing. So
I think the only reason why I kind of asked you that question was because that obviously the points haven't been updated at this point, so we don't know what's the tally at the moment. We only got the points before USA, but I think once we get that sorted, we'll hopefully find out and go from there. But anyway, nonetheless, congratulations to you, Para, for taking P2 on the Mexican Grand Prix, and also wish you the best for next week at Brazil.
yes,
I think I'll hand it over to Owen because I think he's got his responses back.
Nope, still waiting.
Oh,
Did get a message off Superbcan saying that he had nothing to say about the race. But I think, to be honest, then we should be happy with getting third for his team anyway. So even though he
yeah.
was leading the whole race, I'd be happy with third anyway. So just waiting for Colt to give me his response.
Right then, I think whilst we're waiting for Colt's response, we'll go. I think we'll go straight to driver of the day. We would also we are going to do an honourable mention of Lovely Colt from obviously missing a qualifying session from starting in P13 and going up to I think what was to be P2, but then obviously the controversy. So that was the honourable mention. But I think we did decide. I think from barely making it to Q3, we have decided we're going to give it to AMG Kosher. I think it was like with you, Para, that you had battles alongside with you as well. I think it was when, obviously, in the qualifying, Kosher was kind of struggling a little bit. That's why he miraculously made it into Q3. And then in the race, I think his finally managed to get his race trim on top. And I think that's our decision for driver of the day
Mm-hmm.
between me and Owen. So congratulations to AMG Kosher on getting driver of the day at Mexico.
Just got an update from Colt as he was talking about driver of the day. He said, and I quote, "Not at all for the tires for the strategy," as he was trying to stretch his tires until the rain, but lost the tires and had to pit. So either way, he'd be happy with the with first, like anyone would, and hopefully he
Yeah.
gets to continue that performance into Brazil.
Okay. Thank you for the response for that, Colt. And I think that will be it for GP2 on the Mexican Grand Prix. Tune in for tomorrow at 8 on Sunday
Where's the
for
big one?
GP1. At the moment, Urban Unicorn is still leading the Drivers' Championship with Ghost Colt slowly catching up. And also another driver that's also closing the gap as well is also Danny. He's also closing the gap onto the 3rd position. But not only that, also for the constructors, there is also a chance for the best of the rest of GP1 as well. But all of that will be stay tuned for tomorrow at 8. But anyway, that is it for this stream. And for GP2, tune in next week for as we go, well, further south to Brazil for the Brazilian Grand Prix.
Yep, I can't wait to watch that one.
So, as anyways, this has been Phil, and I was with Owen. And we'll be seeing you next week for GP2 for round 20, the penultimate race at Brazil.
Yeah.